If there are other operators out there who are considering working with Noteefy, thinking about it, I guess what's your overall advice for them? How should they think about the product in relation to their golf technology?
I mean, one is just kind of the ROI, like, especially if you're at a facility that is open to the public and your tee times are self book, and you're trying to fill those gaps where a guy booked for 12 players and all of a sudden he's got 8, or he waits till the last second to cancel. Like if you have a 24-hour cancellation policy, we'll say he books for 16 guys, and then 25 hours in advance he drops all but 2 players. All of a sudden you're left with this gap on the tee sheet and wanting to get it filled. I mean, we had that happen with resort guests, with resort groups back in the day, and it was always, all right, let's do a marketing push. Let's push out a social media, post about open tee times. Let's call our wait list. Just the automation has been helpful, and being able to see the conversion of real dollars to kind of almost pay for itself within a pretty short amount of time of launching the program. That's super valuable. And just if nothing else, just getting your pro shop off the phones, which is, I think anyone who has tee times that are bookable via phone is like a wish for anyone, is like, hey, I would rather you just go book this online. I already know next Saturday's full, and this is the 4th call I've gotten about next Saturday being full. But anything you can do to get people to self-book, to self-put themselves on a wait list, be self-notified, and then book those openings. That's the biggest thing, I think, is just taking that off of the pro shop help. So when it comes the day of play, the pro shop staff, your phones are taking care of guests that day and focusing on the guest experience. But I think the biggest thing is just seeing the immediate ROI, and the data is there to show how much it's worth it, and just filling in those gaps. I think most golf facilities are pretty full right now. I'd say utilization is high, and the biggest, outside of weather or rain out day, depending on what your policies are, the biggest threat is going to be late cancellations, I would say, for the average golf facility, especially on like a Friday, Saturday morning. That's like the worst thing that could happen. Right up until the booking window or the cancellation policy, whatever it is guests dropping, because odds are the tee sheet's full. So having ways for that to self-fill in is probably the biggest help, I think, on the operator side, is, hey, we don't have to worry about it. It's gonna fill in itself. And then obviously seeing the data is from a higher level, being able to show the ROI, be able to see the demand, and just kind of, if nothing else, confirming what there's a huge demand out there, but how do you quantify it? What are our busy dates going to be? What is the public wanting to play? Overall, and the onboarding was insanely easy. We've switched tee sheets, we've switched, property management systems, and there's not a lot of fun things about switching any sort of technology, but I'll say onboarding with Noteefy, with the customer relations team, and getting that set up, hearing our feedback on the reporting tools and what they looked like. It was less than 2 weeks, and we were up and running fully, and the system was just running itself. So at this point, I mean, unless you have an amazing waitlist system yourself that this club or the course uses themselves, I don't know why you wouldn't use a tool like Noteefy to help fill in those